Anthony Joshua puts out the UFC MMA specialist, the champ. He puts out Francis Ngannou. It's not an easy task to do, guys. I know we all watched it. We saw it go down, and we all said, dang, Tyson Fury wasn't able to, make you look convincing, and AJ went in there and just did it like that. We were all shocked. People still think, these MMA fans, they still think that it was fake, it was rigged, boxing's corrupt, and maybe boxing is corrupt, but there was nothing fake or scripted about that. Tyson Fury, he's a great fighter, but we have to remember that he doesn't have the most power. He's probably a more decorated and fundamentally sound boxer, but he doesn't have that pop that AJ or Deontay Wilder, both have. That's the sport. And Deontay Wilder, who knows, maybe he does the same thing, but for Anthony Joshua to do it the way he did, drop him 2 times, and to have that success, just absolutely making it look like a cakewalk, like it was just a walk in the park. And I felt for Francis Ngannou, I thought that he deserves to be respected. He deserves that recognition, because it's not easy to go to another sport, even though a UFC/MMA fighter is supposed to be able to strike. Boxing's only striking, it's only using your hands. So in a way, how could this actually not happen? Because Anthony Joshua has been doing this. He's been beating the best boxers in the world, and for Francis Ngannou to just come in, maybe not the smartest fight for him, but I'm sure he made a lot of money. It is what it is. I didn't think it would go out like that. I had AJ winning the fight, probably knocking him out, but not in the first 2 rounds. To drop him twice as early as he did. Anthony Joshua looked good in there, but at the same time, Francis Ngannou was just there to get hit. And it is what it is. That's the sport. The UFC, if Anthony Joshua went to, the PFL, or, if Francis ends up back in the UFC and they fought in the UFC and MMA, I think that Anthony Joshua might even win that fight. I saw Demetrius Johnson, who is a UFC legend, MMA legend, but he talked about how, Francis can't even grapple that well, and we know that. So if Anthony Joshua fought Francis Ngannou, even in MMA, he might beat him, because it'd be a striking match ultimately. And I agree. I think that Francis is good. He's a great striker, but against a legitimate boxer, the boxer is going to come out on top, and that's what happened with AJ. AJ just put him to sleep, slept him like it was nothing. He just you could see him stone cold after he knocked him out. Like, it didn't really faze him. It almost looked like he didn't want to do it. Like he knew that was going to happen. But he talked about AJ talked about how he thinks he should be champ, because obviously the fight with Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou, AJ believed that Tyson Fury lost. Therefore, by beating Francis Ngannou, he should be the champ right now. And there's different ways to look at it, but ultimately he lost to Alexander Usyk, who's still that guy. So for Tyson Fury to be fighting Alexander Usyk, that'll maybe tell a lot about the heavyweight division and where Anthony Joshua will now stand, because people aren't just going to ignore the fact that AJ just knocked out the best heavyweight UFC fighter in the world. They're not just going to ignore that. A former champ, he just went in there and slept him. That right hand was clean. It was the money shot all night long, but at the same time, Francis wasn't really, getting out of the way. I think that Francis Ngannou got too confident being able to take Tyson Fury's best shot, that he thought he could take AJ's, but no, it's different. AJ might not be as good of a fundamentally sound boxer, like moving around, that jab, but he knows how to land that right hand, how to find people's chins, how to really be precise with that right hand. He wasted no time just throwing it down the pipe, splitting the guard of Francis Ngannou, putting him down twice, and then ultimately ending the show with that short right hand. But it's on the money. Like he looked good, man. I think that version of Anthony Joshua, being quick, short to the shot, getting that right hand right to the destination, straight, that straight right cross. I think it looked like money to me. Francis, like, he saw it coming too. You could see it in the replay. He's almost like bracing for it, clinching, but just tensing up allowed him to get that shot landed on him. And when they land clean in the heavyweight division, it's usually a good night, especially when it comes to the heaviest hitters in the sport. When it comes to guys like Deontay Wilder and guys like Anthony Joshua. Francis Ngannou definitely has power. It's just I don't think he understands quite how to set it up in the sport of boxing. I think he's a little bit too used to the distance in MMA or the PFL. I don't know if he's even made his PFL debut, but you know, the distance management is different in the sport of boxing. Like you have to always be moving. You have to be ready to evade shots because you might think you're far away, but that right hand straight bot landed on him from AJ, and AJ, I was impressed. You know, he looked calm in there. He looked like he was ready to do his thing, and a lot of people gave credit to AJ because he looked like he was gracious in his victory. You know, like a lot of people would have beat him and then went crazy. He wasn't going crazy. He just kind of was stone cold, had that same look in his eyes like, yeah, this is what I do. Like, you guys must have forgot what I actually do. And he puts people to sleep. So, you know, the last knockout he had was Rob Helenius, but this was a way bigger scale fight, you know, for all the Saudis to be watching. And you know that there were a lot of eyeballs on this fight for boxing and for MMA, and I think this was a good win for boxing. Boxing needed that after the Tyson Fury fight, where a lot of people were saying, you know, that was your champion, that was the guy, and this guy from the UFC or PFL, an MMA fighter, came in and was able to compete like that, arguably beat your champion. And I think that, you know, this was more accurate of what would happen when a UFC or MMA fighter steps in with a professional boxer in the boxing ring. So it is what it is. I feel like Francis is still a great boxer. I think he could give a lot of people trouble. I'd love to see him and Deontay Wilder fight. Francis and Deontay's a mega fight, but I think Deontay already has a fight booked. So we'll see what happens, but I think that's still a big fight. I think it's still a troublesome fight for Francis, but at the same time, you know, Francis has some decent boxing ability. He looked good, but it's just, you know, the timing, the foot speed isn't there. You know, you can't stand in front of a sharpshooter like that. You could maybe do that to Tyson Fury because, you know, he's not the heaviest hitter, but when it's a sniper, when it's a guy that just needs one shot, and Tyson Fury's not that guy. He's more of the, I'll lean on you, I'll take a toll on you physically, beat you up with my jab, hit you in the body, stuff like that. But Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, they're just going to land their shot. You know, they just need one. You could have all the success you want, but it only takes one shot to put you away. And I think for Francis Ngannou, if he's going to continue boxing, he has to, you know, learn more about, you know, the sweet science of the sport and be able to move around, not just, you know, stay in front. He has to learn the art of, you know, when you get hurt, how do you get into survival mode? He hasn't had to deal with that. He hasn't been rocked like that. Not at least, you know, being put down the way AJ did it and then ultimately getting stopped. He has to learn how to clinch. He has to learn how to, you know, just get into survival mode, evade shots. Once you get that 8 count, you get that 10 count, you have to be able to, you know, evade guys, you know, stay away, move around, so that, you know, you're not so susceptible for that shot. Because when the second knockdown happened, he just got up, stood right in front of AJ, said basically, you know, put me out of my misery, and AJ landed that boom, good night, and that was the end of the show. But let me know in the comments what you guys thought. I thought it was a great night for the sport of boxing, great night for, you know, combat sports in general, because there were two big names in the combat sports world, and ultimately AJ put Francis Ngannou to sleep. But respect to Francis for taking that risk. You know, they both made a lot of money, so you know, there's not really a loser in that. I don't think that Francis loses any stock because he took a risk going to a different sport. So respect to Francis, respect to AJ for getting the job done, putting boxing back on his back, and, you know, handling business. But let me know in the comments what you guys thought about the fight. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. That's going to do it for another Nads Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.